I guess you could say this episode of Overlord in episode 5 was pretty much the finale of the Cockatoos versus the Lizard Tribe, and we got resolution by the end of this. But we start off, I guess, with Ainz and Guardians of Nazarick, and they come across a little, I guess, hideout, less fancy looking than most hideouts, but it's a hideout nonetheless, so they can survey the fight. And this is obviously the first 7 minutes of like a comic relief, because you have a chair made by, it looks like human bones or animal bones. It's supposed to be a throne for Ainz, and this is where Ainz comes up with a punishment for Shaltier to end up as the chair. But if you notice, Albino's, I guess, overall reaction, she got pissed. She walked out the room and she punched a hole through a wall, and she's like, "Yo, can you fix that up?" So, and this goes back to what I was saying previously. It seems like multiple reviews now I've been saying this. This is why, and plus the final image in the ending is of Albino anyway. So I get that. I hope she gets a major role in this arc. And the only thing I can think of right now, because of what Jesse Setsume said about her bearing Ainz Ungolden's child, imagine if she said that in front of Alberta, how pissed off she would be. That'd be a fight, no question in my mind. Then again, you do have Shaltier who has unfinished business with being manipulated, and one thing that Ainz did kind of bring up is like it was his carelessness that got Shaltier in that predicament in the first place. So that was kind of interesting, but it was funny nonetheless. Then we get a whole army of the undead, and he just uses a gate to actually freeze up all the, I guess, the lizard fodder, if you want to call them that, Zoryasu and Zoryasuru, and not to mention his Sarasu, the brother of Zoryasu. The Lizard Tribe brothers end up being the last ones to survive. But boy, Cockatoos was not holding back. But he also respected the Lizard Tribe, which is why he gave the brothers the chance to like get their battle cry out. So I kind of appreciate that. Zoryasuru, oh boy, he got beheaded. Like he pulled out the Cockatoos, brought out the Emperor's sword. He beheaded Zoryasuru. It was brutal. People were getting slaughtered left and right. I think at one point Zoryasu actually lost an arm. It looked like because he was bleeding quite a bit. Frost Sword was given back to him by Cockatoos, so I thought, okay, that's kind of interesting. But so he uses again his ice power to actually corrupt the illusion to catch him off guard. Zoryasu actually ends up getting slaughtered in half to end up as a distraction for Zoryasu, but it didn't work. It cuts away, and that's pretty much where they end up. And it looks like Lulu was brought back to the hideout as a discussion broke out. Cockatoos was already aware of this, and I guess she was the one that's supposed to be working under Lord Ainz. And it was funny, the interaction, especially, what do you want me to be? You want me to be a slave? Do you want my body? And the reactions of Shaltier and Albino, again, classic. Ainz was like, no, I don't want that, but I want you to keep a close eye on the Lizard Tribe. Do that and work on the Ainz on God, because Cockatoos see a potential in them. And then Lulu's actually brought an ultimatum to actually keep watch over the Lizard Tribe, and in return it would bring Zoryasuru back to life. So he probably has the ability to perform Edo Tensei, which is the first time he's done this, so go figure. So he can create an undead army if he wants to. So that's interesting. So it looks like Lulu and Zoryasu are going to be working pretty much under Ainz on God, which is kind of cool because they're not killed off. It's definitely a comic relief. By the way, we actually get our first look at Lizard Hub, I guess, because we actually get introduced to the intercourse scene of the episode. The thing is Ainz on God was actually spying in on the Lizard Tribe to see what they were doing while preparing for the fight with Cockatoos. They were celebrating, and they had stumbled across the hub. That was funny. By the end, they obviously work under Ainz on Gold now. We can actually move on. I wonder what kind of role they'll have, especially with the characters like Session Tsume. I keep repeating myself, but obviously she's not a joke. If she's able to best Shaltier, and Shaltier actually took Ainz on Gold to the limit. By the way, Cockatoos had an armored spell, defense spell, so he couldn't be touched no matter what. So that's some broken stuff. So Cockatoos, it's good we actually get to see him on a one-on-one fight. Hopefully all the Guardians of Nazarick will actually get that chance like Nabe did in the previous season. So she's the only one that showed some feats, apart from the Cockatoos in this episode. So I hope we get more of that along the way. Either way, it was a decent episode, and now we can move along. Hopefully it was actually Sensumi, but I'm not too sure. So all in all, it was a decent episode. Very there's a lot I laughed at in this episode, but all ultimately brought the feels in. Lizard Tribe are not done for, apparently, at least not all of them. And Zorisu actually brought an interesting comment about bringing his brother and Zorisu back to life by the end of this. So maybe that's what will end up happening, as long as they pleasure allegiance to Ainz. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Like this review if you did appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel for more Overlord. Obviously, I'm going to be doing weekly reviews. Catch you guys later. Bye.